Our next speaker is Kostyantyn Yakovchuk-Besarab. Kostyantyn is an entrepreneur and a matchmaker. He was one of the founders of uSupport and is also a director of the BPO company WinTrade. Please welcome Kostyantyn.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, dear ministers, dear Your Excellencies, many people say that my surname is the first obstacle to making contacts with, some international partners, which is true. And here is the coming out. It was said before the Brain Basket presentation that that presentation is not of commercial nature. Mine is. So this is a commercial presentation, maybe not for me, but for the Ukrainian market itself. And let's be honest, every presentation we have here is of commercial nature, because Ukrainian team is willing to play a game with the Norwegian team, which is called business. So I will start. I have only 5 minutes, so I will be sliding hopefully really fast. And I will omit the second slide because it is about myself, and I can tell about myself while drinking some tea or coffee with you. So, the situation is, I would like to tell you about a free marketplace where many Ukrainian IT and research and development companies are registered, which is really free for any user. So it is a database with background information about the company with direct contacts, which makes it online catalog of Ukraine's IT outsourcing. So you can just enter that catalog, find your suitable company or several, and just call them directly. And this is what makes uSupport unique. There is no any problem for any company which would like to register to provide the information about the company. Please, the next slide. What was before the uSupport? The situation is that I am one of the founders of uSupport. My colleague Lubomir is sitting here in the hall. So we were thinking when the annexation of Crimea started, what can we change in what we are professional in? Can we change in what we are doing, what we know the best? Because it was understood from the very beginning that annexation is not the end, and there will be some difficulties in the economy of Ukraine afterwards. Because, image is also a part of your kind of business strategy. And we understood that there are many companies on the market of Ukraine which tend not to show themselves because, they have 1 or 2 partners abroad, and this is okay. Like, they do many interesting things, but they tend not to show what they are doing. And this is what we decided to do, an open source and a driven of crowdsourcing in terms of information open portal. And now the information about many companies which are doing many interesting things in many sectors is on this resource, and it is free to use. Please, next slide. And, frankly speaking, Ukraine is somehow perceived as a resource country. We can see it in the presentations, wooden pails and, kind of people doing something for someone. But frankly speaking, uSupport is not about just outsourcing. And you, as a business, don't outsource for outsourcing. You outsource for better focus on your main issues and main core processes in your organization. Of course, you outsource for the cost efficiency, and at the end, you outsource for the performance. Because, letting out the processes which stop you will increase your speed. Please, next slide. uSupport now is 196 companies registered online. We never fill in any form by ourselves. So the companies which would like to have, additionally to their active sales, some passive sales and long tail sales, they are here. So it is additional positioning for themselves and additional source of incoming contacts. It is about the 17 locations in Ukraine. It is about 6 categories. It is about 11 industries of companies active in. And the majority of them are SME, so small and medium businesses. which to some extent brings you to the idea of kind of fracture of Ukrainian IT or outsourcing market, but at the same time it brings you to the idea of flexibility and the variety of services you can outsource. And well, this is not about outsourcing, big scales. I have nothing to compete with, IT companies which are present here with their boards, because it's just a synergy cooperation. I mean, the more the sector of IT outsourcing in Ukraine gets, the better is for every part of it. If there is a resource to present themselves with, I don't know, advertising, this is great. And if there is no resource to advertise yourself, you go, additional channels, and one of the channels is uSupport. Please, next. And, okay, this is kind of a marketing message. No, please, one back. How can you use the uSupport? Well, actually, there are three, means of using it. First, do it yourself. You can browse, you can find the context, you can contact your companies. It is, very simple, but simple things work. You can ask uSupport to assist you in lookup for the IT company, and you can send your request for proposals or request for quotes or just a project description, a short one, to all the participants, and you will get quotes. It works really fast. What is, please next. What is at the end of this presentation? So I'm a little bit, ahead of my time, I believe, but anyway, dramatic things are happening now in Ukraine. This is not about my presentation, but this is about the mobility of young people. It was already said here that many of people who are ruling Ukraine now are representatives of the former system. But we have many young people, many educated people who did their studies abroad and who went back to help Ukraine. And the obstacle is this visa thing, because, when I was flying here, we had this bubble sorting, going out of the plane already, not, yeah, 30 seconds, so I am away. But the situation is that what we do with uSupport, we remove the bottleneck. So you get the direct access to companies you will never find in Google. So consider this when you will be looking a company to coding for equity, and for cooperation in Ukraine's IT sector. Thank you very much.